crazy. Why is that even a thing? Pop out. Oh my gosh, he was invisible and I got him. Oh, you thought. Oh my god, that was too close. So the open test session is here for XDefiant, and I've been playing it for the past 2 days, like a couple hours. Like I played like 1 hour on Friday and like 2 hours today, and I gotta say, like, something about it just feels off. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's not the same as it was before when they released like the playtest earlier. I think it was like a year ago. One of the main problems I've been having with the game so far is that the bullet registration is so off. Not just that, but also there's something wrong with the snipers. Not even just one of them, like both of the snipers, there's something very obviously wrong. At first I thought it was the fire rate is just really slow, but that's not it, because like I completely wait for the rechamber to fully happen every time. But what happens is you pull the trigger, but nothing actually happens until like a second later, like a good second after you pulled the trigger, then you actually fire. And that is like really annoying. Like, I hope it's fixable. Like, I hope they get that figured out before they release this, because that's probably one of the main issues that I have with this. Everything else is like mostly fine. Like, there isn't that much that's wrong with this. Personally, don't have an issue with most of the changes they've done, most of the things they've done. I kind of like it. The movement feels nice and smooth and like fluid. Turning around on somebody is pretty jarring. Like, it's hard to like get your kind of balance again when you like try and turn around on somebody shooting behind you. It's really hard to adjust to, but I've still had a couple of good games though. Like, it's not all been just sweating and shitters. Like, there have been a couple like close matches, good matches, and aside from that, one problem that I did point out, I do really enjoy the sniping. Like, I think the sniping is pretty good on this game. And you know what? At first, I was really kind of frustrated with playing this again, because I remember the max sensitivity being a lot higher. Like, I'm playing on max sensitivity again, like I always do on like every single FPS, but it feels a lot slower than it ever did. Like, I feel like this max sensitivity is like just genuinely slower than what we had before. I guess I just kind of gotten used to it. I've been playing nothing but this when I can since the session started, so I kind of just eventually sort of made myself get used to the sensitivity. So it is still pretty slow for me for what I'd typically be using on a first-person shooter, but you can get around it. It is adaptable. It's playable. I was messing around with the snipers, and I do remember the other sniper, you know, the second one to this. I do remember it being a lot better in the original playtest than it is now. Like, right now, like, I feel like it's significantly weaker and slower. That might just be in my head. Like, I didn't really take a good look at the patch notes or anything, but I do definitely feel like that's the case. Like, I don't know what it is. So I'm kind of just maining this sniper right now. It is what it is. And I also noticed that the main, like, original sniper scope is a little bit weird. So I decided to use a different sniper scope that isn't gonna take away from my ADS time that much. So at first I didn't like it because it's kind of like an ACOG, and I typically don't really use ACOGs on my snipers unless I'm like just trying to have fun or doing a challenge or whatever. I typically prefer the OG sniper scopes, but this time I actually kind of fuck with it. I think it's pretty good. Like, I really didn't think I would like the circle in the middle of like the other one, but you know, I kind of got used to it. I adapted. This whole thing is pretty much an adaptation from Call of Duty. So I actually haven't even played this map since the last 2 days that I've been playing. I have not run into this map yet. This is like my first time on this map since the last time. I do like the last one I played on. I forgot what it's called. I really got to remember the names of these maps. But other than that, evidently I can see that like across the board, there just isn't like nearly as much hype as there was before. Like, I can tell the hype for this game has died down a lot. Like, a lot. The hype is just not anywhere close to where it was before when it was initially announced. So I guess that's something that they got to get over, and hopefully they'll release this game in a good state, because I really do think it still has potential. Like, I could see myself playing this like frequently. So yeah, I just hope they keep at it and add some more good shit to the game. Hopefully more snipers in the actual main release. That would be great. But anyway, we're in the last couple hours, I think, right now of the play session, so I don't think the servers are going to be online for that much longer. So I guess I'm just going to play till it goes off, to be honest. I have heard a lot of people complaining about like how sweaty it is. I have noticed that. Like, it is pretty sweaty in most of the lobbies. There are a few lobbies like in between those sweaty lobbies that are pretty good. Like, there's some pretty normal, just regular connection based lobbies, some good people, some bad people. So it's definitely not close to as sweaty as Call of Duty is, but it still like definitely has its sweats. I mean, it only makes sense since this is like a limited time playtest, so there will be like a lot of sweaty, really hardcore FPS players. So I'm not really too mad about that. It does add up. It does make sense. So yeah, it's really not a huge deal. More importantly, I hope it's not gonna be this sweaty when the game actually releases, which it probably won't be. I don't see it being this sweaty when the game drops. But yeah, if they keep going like this, I think it's gonna be a pretty good release, all things considered. Like, it has been delayed a lot, and it doesn't really show that much why they've been delaying the game a lot. I feel like the changes that they've made between the last playtest and this one haven't been, I guess, as, you know, massive to require that amount of time delay. But you know, I'm not the one in the kitchen. I'm not really the one behind the scenes, so I can only really say what I see, what things appear to be like. So yeah, I guess I will just leave it to them, and hopefully we got a good product at the end. But yeah, since it's about to end, I will say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this little playtest. Like, yeah, there are a lot of things that are not perfect with the game, as with most games. So just curious to see what they do in the future with what they got here, because I think they have a pretty good thing going here. So leave a like, subscribe, please. Let me know if you agreed with what I'm saying, you know, leave a comment, let me know your opinions, and yeah, see ya.